Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So in this one here, I want to talk about episode 12 of The Walking Dead titled Walk With Us. I am unbelievably hyped for this episode. It sucks to wait this week. The last few episodes never really ended on a cliffhanger, in a sense, kind of, but not really. This one here, we're in the middle of a battle, or I guess maybe not the middle of a battle, but the way it ended, the build to the war, and also to the big moment that we're expecting to happen in episode 12. This is going to be a really long week, it really is. But before we go any further, I do have to warn you that this will contain spoilers for episode 11, so if you haven't watched it yet, maybe watch that, watch the trailer or something, and maybe check out this video. If you haven't watched my review for episode 11, I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. Like I said in my review, I'm going to be doing a lot of Alpha videos this week, stuff focused on her and Lydia, and also Negan, and if he will kill Alpha in next week's episode, because I'm kind of expecting that to happen. Will Alpha get her death from the comic? How exactly is all of it going to go down? Is it going to go down at nighttime? I hope it does. I think it probably will go down at nighttime. There's a few shots in this trailer that I do think are related, and I actually think what we got in this trailer really hints at how it's going to happen and I guess why it happens. So if you want to get my videos on all of that and also my Michonne videos and stuff that we'll likely be talking about in a week from now, because in a week from now, we're going to get the trailer for episode 13, which is Michonne's final episode, which could be Rick related. So yeah, amazing time to be a Walking Dead fan. But let's talk about the trailer here. So we see the hilltop on fire, and I mean, it is really, really on fire. In tonight's episode, we saw that the gates were on fire, but we didn't get a lot of shots of the hilltop actually on fire. You have a shot like this where you just see everything on fire. Like, is that the Barrington house over there? Like, everything is on fire. And that is the thing here. Like, they are not going to be able to put this out. There is no way they're going to be able to put this out. I mean, I feel like firefighters, they would have a hard time putting this out. Imagine if they were dealing with zombies and, you know, people trying to come at them with bow and arrows and stuff like that. Like, there's no way they're going to be able to do this. That fire is going to have to go out naturally. It's going to have to, they're going to burn everything down. Now, the Barrington house is likely still going to be up, but obviously be very destroyed. I actually think one of the sadder shots that we could get is a shot of those portraits of Glenn and Herschel and all that burning down, because we got a shot of that in tonight's episode, and I feel like we're going to get another shot in episode 12 of them actually just like completely burnt down. It's sad, but this is what's going on. This is a battle. This is war. They talked about this in episode 11 a lot. Like, should we even stay here at the hilltop? This fight could kill us all. There's no point in staying here. And of course, Earl, I love Earl. He was like, this was the only home that we've had for however long. Like, we built all of this. We need to protect it. We go down with this place. And so they're all here. I actually wonder if Earl's going to be a death in episode 12, if we're going to get that. Just because we have shots of Alden and Kelly later on in the trailer, and they have the baby. Earl's nowhere to be seen. It is very possible that he actually died during the fire. Now, this battle is going to end very soon. Like I said, I think they're going to be fighting some of the Whisperers, some of the Walkers and all that. They will deal with them. I actually don't think we're going to get all the battle scenes or fight scenes that I was suggesting earlier in terms of like Negan versus Beta or like Daryl versus Beta or something like that. We could get Daryl versus Beta, or we could get some moment like that, but it seems like Negan is going to be on the Whisperer side throughout the entire battle, so I don't think he's going to really play too much of a role with all of them evacuating. He'll probably stay back with Alpha. We could get some Daryl versus Beta though. Like, that's definitely possible. But like I said, everyone's going to be evacuating. Like, we have a lot of shots of people out in the woods. I know Daryl's here with Rosita, so they all fled. Like, they all left the hilltop. I do want to see shots of the aftermath. I want to see how much of the hilltop was destroyed. I'm sure everything is down. Like, all the walls are down. A lot of the houses, the structures, everything's down. How much was the Barrington house affected? Like, I really want to see what they did to the hilltop, because it is done for. I think the hilltop's done for the rest of the season. I think season 11, they'll actually really focus on rebuilding, but they will be dealing with a lot of Commonwealth stuff, so we'll be there a lot. We're not going to focus too much on the hilltop, I would imagine anyways. Maggie is going to return later to rebuild this though, so that's kind of exciting. I think that's why she's coming back. She's going to return with the Commonwealth or with Georgie. Are they the same thing? I have no idea. We'll find that out in the season 10 finale or maybe in season 11, but we'll find that out, and then Maggie with her resources will help the hilltop rebuild. That's literally the purpose of why she left, right? To go help struggling communities. Well, her home community is now struggling. She should return to help, right? Now, during the battle, we actually see Ezekiel trying to take the kids out, and I mean, it just looks like a mess. Like, look at all that smoke everywhere. I mean, like, they gotta get out of there fast. I'm not sure where they go. That's kind of what I'm wondering next. Like, where do they go after this? I'm sure they're going to Alexandria. That's the safest place to go, so they're all gonna go there. But who do they go with? Like, we know Ezekiel is going to be leaving with Eugene and Yumiko pretty much right after this. They're going to go to the Commonwealth. So Eugene's going to have to confess that to everyone, saying, I know this community, maybe they can help us, blah, blah, blah. But we also know Daryl, and I expect Carol and a few other people are going to be dealing with Alpha and all that. Actually, I feel like Rosita might bring a lot of the kids back to Alexandria. Some people are thinking that Rosita might actually die, and she might take Andrea's death from the comic, which I can kind of see at this point. You can kind of see how they could be setting that up, but it's a little too early to know at this point. I did get those vibes in episode 11. Rosita kind of seemed like she was the moral compass in a lot of ways, but we'll see. I do think a moment like that could be happening this season, but I'm not exactly sure. I haven't really been focusing on the Andrea death moment just because I've just been waiting for this final arc to wrap up. For Alpha's final arc, Michonne's goodbye, and then from episode 14 and on, we'll talk about that because we'll know the status of the Whisperer War, what's going to happen with Negan, and if he killed Alpha at that point, what is Beta doing with the Horde? Where are all the characters? Like, is Rosita in Alexandria? Is she going to lead some of the Horde to Oceanside? Is that where she's going to get bit? You know what I mean? We also kind of need Eugene to be there if Rosita's going to die, so I don't know how it's all going to play out unless Eugene makes it back in the finale, like with Maggie and the princess and the Commonwealth, and then we get that final goodbye. But that's kind of a lot to happen there. I actually think it's possible that the Andrea death scene could extend a little bit into season 11. Could happen like in the first half of that season. They might switch it up a little bit there. Or it might happen with Connie and Magna, right? Because they're kind of in a shitty situation right now. Now, the battle is likely going to end very soon. I think we'll probably get like 10 to 15 minutes of the battle. It'll probably be roughly around there. And then the last half hour of the 45 minute episode, I'm not sure how long this episode is, but I think the first quarter will be the battle, the Hilltop on fire, and then the last 3 quarters will be the aftermath and Alpha's death scene and just the build to that big moment. We actually had this really amazing shot here of Negan, and he has Lucille, he has his jacket, the Whisper mask on. I mean, just amazing. Alpha says that she doesn't have everything she wants. So I'm guessing Negan's going to ask her if this was good enough, because maybe she suggests that she wants to do this, or we have to keep going on. And then Negan's like, wasn't this good enough? Like, we destroyed all the Hilltop. Because remember, in tonight's episode, he was trying to get her to maybe not, kill them, just try to get them to join, or, he wants to protect Judith. I think he wants to protect those communities. I think he does care about them, and we're all expecting him to be on our side right now anyways. So it depends on what Alpha wants here, because she replies that, obviously it wasn't enough destroying the Hilltop, having them all flee. I want more. I want to see them suffer, I guess. I don't know. But I do think she wants Lydia. I think she's going to play such a crucial role in Alpha's final arc, her final story. We see a lot of shots of Lydia alone in the woods. And again, I think she's going to be very, very crucial to how all of this wraps up, because she's in the woods. Who's coming at her? I don't think Gamma is going to be here, because we see some shots of Gamma, and we'll talk about that in a second. I think it's actually more related to Eldon and Kelly and the baby, because they kind of set that up in tonight's episode that she wants to see her, I guess, her niece or nephew. So I think she could maybe sacrifice herself to keep them safe, or maybe I have no idea. But we do have some shots of Lydia out in the woods alone. We actually have some shots of Daryl going into this, I guess it's a shack. It's hard to see if it's the same shack or shed as this. I don't think it's the same thing, but Daryl is definitely going after Lydia, I think. He's probably looking for Alpha as well, but remember, they're all stranded. I think they just want to get rid of the key members of the Whisperers, right? They're all probably trying to survive as well. They're probably trying to find a safe place to survive. Lydia's probably out there alone in the woods. Daryl's like, I'm going to go after her. Rosita will take everyone else and some of the kids and stuff back to the Hilltop. Or sorry, not the Hilltop, obviously not there. But Alexandria, Carol also could be out there. And so I think the last however long, it'll just focus on like Daryl and Carol, Negan, Alpha, Lydia, like those people there. Like I said, we do have this shot of Alpha and Negan, and I had no idea that this shot was related, but we see Negan and Alpha, they're going to this shack right here. Now, I'm not exactly sure what is happening at this point. Like, this is after the battle. This is sometime after as well. This isn't happening early in the episode. This is happening at some point, either halfway through the episode or... And my question for you guys is, do you think this is related to Alpha's final scene? Because in the comic, and I guess I should explain this for people who don't know, what happens here is that Negan actually cuts Alpha's head off. I'm pretty sure it happens at nighttime, and it happened because Alpha allowed Negan to get very, very close to her. She became very weak and vulnerable, and then Negan just took that opportunity, cut her head off. made her suffer like that, and then, yeah, he brought the head back to Rick later on in like future issues. We're kind of at that moment right now. It seems like they're building to it a lot. Again, we got a lot of stuff in tonight's episode of Alpha with Negan, and we've been getting a lot more Lydia things too. Also, if you noticed, Alpha's always wearing her mask, at least in the last couple of episodes. She's been wearing it a lot, and I think it's because in this episode, she's not going to be wearing it that much. They want to get those last scenes of her wearing that mask, right? Because, I mean, that mask is just iconic. And as of now, I do think the death scene is going to happen in this episode. I think it just makes a lot of sense for it to happen. Like, they could wait until episode 14, but like after tonight's episode, I'm ready for this final arc to end and pay off, and then we go on to the aftermath and we deal with some other stuff, because how long can you really keep it going? I think the episode's going to end with Negan cutting Alpha's head off. I really do. I think it's exactly how it's going to end, and he's going to say, wait till Daryl or Carol or whoever gets a good look at you. I think he's going to use that same exact line, and then the episode's going to end and we're all going to be shocked. Like, whoa, what? Like he just did that? And then we get Michonne's final episode, which is, that's also going to be exciting, but you can end episode 12 like that because everyone's going to be wondering what's happening next. It's Michonne's final one, so, the momentum is already cut off. The momentum's already over, right? Like you built up to that final moment. We say goodbye to Michonne, and then we start with something new. We start with like what happens to the Whisperers now that Alpha's dead, and they'll explore that for the last 3 episodes of the season. I think it's coming. I mean, episode 12 is usually one of the big episodes I would say of each season. I am wondering if Greg Nicotero directed this episode. I guess I could look that up because he usually directs episode 12 from what I remember. So if he did, I mean, that's also pretty, I think it just makes it more obvious, right? Now, like I was saying, we do have some shots of Gamma and she's all bloody and stuff. And I don't know if she's dying here. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if she's in front of Alpha, Lydia, or Beta. We do have some shots of Eldon and Kelly with the baby, so that's kind of why I think it's related to this, because that was a scene that happened kind of randomly in episode 11 where Gamma, or I guess Mary, wanted to see her nephew or niece. I can't remember if it was a boy or girl, but Eldon and Earl wouldn't allow it, and so I think if she actually saves them here, he'll have a lot more respect for her, and I think Mary could actually be a part of the Hilltop or a part of the community and actually be a part of this baby's life, and I would like that. Though I am wondering if it is going to happen because Thora Birch plays Gamma. She's a pretty big actress, and I don't know, would she stay on The Walking Dead long term? Like, this could be, like, she could have just played this role for just this season. We'll find out, I guess, but I would really like her to stay long term. It is possible that she's going to be the Whisperer that survives, and Lydia actually dies, and she's going to die in Alpha's final scene. Maybe that's actually what causes Negan to kill Alpha, is because Alpha killed Lydia or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to end the video here. Again, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos this week on all the information that we learned about this final scene happening between Alpha and Negan, and just more stuff like that. So if you want to get all my videos on that, make sure to be a subscriber. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Post all your thoughts and all your predictions on episode 12 down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.